Hello ladies and gentlemen, Games of Bacon here, and today we're looking at the Fury Warrior. And this video right here is going to be dedicated to the stats and the stat weights and how you can go about finding your best in slot gear. And then there's going to be two more videos following this. They'll be in a little playlist, and the second one will be going over the talents and macros and all that sort of thing, and the third one will be going over the rotation, the single target into the initial rotation, the execute phase, and the AoE and all that good stuff. So pick the video you think will suit you most, depending on what you want to know, and we'll go from there. But let's get started, shall we? First of all, we're a Fury Warrior, and Fury Warriors have recently been buffed, we know that, and they're really, really good at the moment. So a lot of people are saying, well, what's better? Is it Titan's Grip or is it Single-Minded Fury? Honestly, it's whatever you have the weapons for. They are so close. At lower item level, I believe Single-Minded Fury is slightly edging out on top, but at higher item level, they're pretty much equal. When you get to like the mythic kind of like 6-7E kind of zone on your character, you start getting a few mythic items and you've got heroic items. They're pretty much equal, so whatever you have the better weapons for is going to be what you're doing the most damage with. For me, that happens to be Single-Minded Fury, so yeah, good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to back all this up, and I use Simcraft a lot, and I'm going to go through, and the sources I'm using are the profiles for tier 17 mythic gear. So the numbers you're looking at are not mine, they're straight mythic gear, best in slot items that Simcraft recommends for the Fury Warrior as it is at the moment. So the numbers you're going to see are for what we're aiming for. Well, what I recommend you do is look at my Simcraft guide, and I have one on my channel. Go there, go through it, Simcraft yourself, see what you need, see what's best for you. Your stat weights are going to change depending on where you are and what your item level is and things like that. So go through and do all that, and that'll be the best for your character right now. However, what we're going to do, we're just going to go over some standard stuff. I'm going to show you what you want to look out for. I'm going to show you the kind of numbers we can expect to do as we progress, and we're going to go over what your stats and all that kind of good stuff is. So let me bring in Simcraft. Here it is. And what we got is right here at the top, we have how much damage we're looking to do. So one-handed at the moment with tier 17 mythic gear is going to be looking at about 43,430 DPS in a full raid scenario. That's on a butcher fight, or well, a patchwork fight, which is basically butcher now. And that's really good, right? That's definitely good. And then if we go over to results here, we can see that two-handed tier 17 mythic is doing just a tiny little bit more, like a couple of hundred more. It really doesn't matter. A lot of that's going to be determined by how well you play the class. So 100 DPS difference is not even close to something we want to worry about. So the DPS is great, right? That's brilliant. And we can see that the talents we want to take are Impending Victory, which is good because it is actually used in the rotation for those times when we're off of when we don't have any procs. Sudden Death is a must for both one-handed and two-handed. Stormbolt is a must for both one-handed and two-handed. Dragon Roar is better if you're on an AoE fight. Think Tectus, Twin Ogron, that kind of thing. Bloodbath is usually the best. Again, Tectus, maybe Bladestorm, depends how you want to use it. And then at higher item level, Anger Management is also a must. So that's really cool. There's kind of your talents. We're going to go over that in the next video anyway, but that was a quick rundown. So the stats is what we're here for, and these right here are what you're going to be using to put into Ask Mr. Robot. I explain all this in the video on my guide to being best in slot and that sort of thing. But we can see here that the main focus is going to be our offhand weapon. Funny enough, does more for us than our main hand weapon. Only by slightly, like, you know, so having them both the same item level is brilliant, but if you do have one that's like, you know, a 645 and one's a 630 or something like that, then you're going to want to put the 645 in your offhand. And from there we can see that crit is really high for us. This is his two-handed Fury, and as you'll see as one-handed it's still really high. The number's slightly different, but that's not really a problem. you'll just see that the main difference here is these are very close together, 52 and 46, whereas with one-handed fury, this offhand is 0.6 and weapon and main hand is 0.3, so that's quite different. That's quite a big difference actually. So that's one of those things you want to slightly look out for, and then you can put all this into Ask Mr. Robot and it will recommend what you do with your items and that sort of thing. But still, crit is very close to mastery as it is on the other one, very close. And then multi-strike and haste are pretty close for two-handed, but I believe multi-strike is, well, it's also very close to haste for one-handed as well. And then versatility is just a little bit down further from there. So that's it really. So we're going to want, you know, weapons is obviously going to be our biggest change. And then from there we're going to want to be going for crit and mastery, multi-strike if we can, a little bit of haste and some versatility. Now, one thing I do know is when you hit about 11% haste, you will have enough cooldown, whatever, like cooldown reduction, that your bloodthirst is going to be up so quick that you can actually, with 100% crit chance, you can actually just keep enrage up constantly. Like as long as your bloodthirst crits, you'll never not be enraged, because as long as you're using bloodthirst and cooldown, you'll just be enraged, and that's really good, because it's those moments in between where, say for example, enrage falls off and then we have an execute proc. Well, execute needs to be used straight away, right? That's top of our priority list, but bloodthirst is on cooldown, so you're going to use that execute, but you've missed out because you're not enraged. So yeah, sorry about that if you heard that, my bad. But yeah, so you know, keeping that enrage up is really good and something we really want. Bearing that in mind, that's kind of my run over for all the things. You can see it here, all the rankings are there for you directly out of Simcraft. So I really hope this has helped. If you want to look for your talents and go through and see what everything does, go to my next video. And if you're looking for rotational information and all that sort of thing, then go and visit the last video in this playlist. Anyway guys, I hope that's helped. If you have any questions, please do let me know, and I shall see you next time.